Imagine a world where the fight against climate change becomes a battleground for economic power. That's exactly what's happening as the United States pressures nations to reject a United Nations-backed deal aimed at slashing ship fuel emissions or face harsh consequences like tariffs, visa restrictions, and port levies. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this a bold move to protect American economic interests or a short-sighted decision that undermines global efforts to combat climate change? Let's dive in. The Trump administration, focused on bolstering U.S. economic dominance, has been using tariffs as a strategic weapon to renegotiate trade terms with partners. In this latest move, the U.S. is targeting a draft agreement reached in April through the UN's International Maritime Organization, IMO. This deal would impose fees on ships that exceed global carbon emissions standards, a step toward decarbonizing an industry responsible for nearly 3% of the world's CO2 emissions. With 90% of global trade happening by sea, the stakes couldn't be higher. And this is the part most people miss. The U.S. withdrew from negotiations leading up to the draft deal in April and openly threatened retaliation against countries supporting it. Their argument? The measures would burden the shipping industry without significantly reducing emissions, but critics argue this stance prioritizes short-term economic gains over long-term environmental sustainability. In recent days, the U.S. State Department has privately warned IMO member countries against adopting the so-called net zero framework. A spokesperson confirmed the U.S. is actively exploring punitive measures if the deal passes during the IMO's October session. They're even urging allies to follow suit, though details of these diplomatic discussions remain under wraps. The Netherlands, for instance, received a direct warning: support the deal and face tariffs or other retaliatory actions. It's unclear how many other IMO members have been similarly pressured, but the tension is palpable. The IMO, with its 176 member countries, is tasked with regulating international shipping safety and pollution, making this showdown all the more critical. The initial deal passed with 63 votes in favor, 16 against, and 24 abstentions. For it to be adopted, a majority is needed, and sources say the outcome is far from certain. Here's the burning question. Is the U.S. stance a necessary defense of its economic interests, or a missed opportunity to lead on climate action? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over.